Hello there fellow NPCs, I am Carbon Scythe and today we're going to continue to play her story. I'm just gonna lower the volume a bit so I can still hear myself think. And this is the fourth episode I'm recording today in this series. It is such a good game that I really want to I want to finish it honestly, but I can only do so much at a time because there's a lot of thinking. And I already mentioned this in a previous video that I was looking around for lore about these entire stories that I could react to at the very end in case there was something I missed and things like that. And so with that said, we're going into something that I missed, that I completely just missed because there was so much to go through. So let's go. Yeah, right. At the end, after I recorded the last episode, I just wanted to check is there something hidden, some hidden thing in credit. But before we do that, let's tapping. Here we go. This is the one that I should have caught from the beginning, because they do explain, if this is the video I mean, Eve here does explain what the code is called.
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book, the knock code, something prisoners of war would use.
But for some reason I forgot completely to check this code. 1, 2, 5, 4. There's a lot of letters here anyway. I'm just glad that I checked the YouTube video with this, because I already know the answer to this. And she spells out by Hannah, it seems, and which goes back to something that I said in one of the previous episodes. It was either episode 3 or 4 that Hannah is gone. There's only Eve left. Now, with that said, let's continue. Because there is also in the last episode we did receive a not a secret message, but a hidden message in the credits. If you want to know more stuff, here are some extra codes that you can find. And I actually double checked and now I have them. So let's enter those. I'm actually, enter those. So it was admin random. Lucky dip, random access. And it gets me back here. Really?
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things. All kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows. He works on artistic things. Really beautiful things.
Why is that under admin random? That's weird. And then there was unlock, but I already did that. So I already have that one. Why the hell did I get Ernst Brothers Glass? That makes little sense to me. There we go. But now I have only missing Detective Inspector, 75% of the database accessed, and Detective Chief Inspector, 100% of database accessed, as well as score draw, which is when I get draw on this game, and I'm not even gonna attempt that. Most like some kind of Easter egg, but it means we have less than 75% of this game. I found out 75% of the game, but we already know that Simon cheated on Hannah with Eve. Eve believes that they are twin sisters and live separately, but Hannah doesn't even acknowledge Eve's existence, whether it is as an twin sister or as a split personality. So Simon has sex with Eve, well aware that they are the same person. But Hannah/Eve does not understand this, cannot comprehend it, not yet anyway, and starts fighting with him about how Simon is doing some infidelity and shit like that. They start having a fight because the present Hannah got from Simon for her birthday was the same kind of present Eve got for her birthday, which is, they're the same person, so they would get the same present. Eve leaves and goes to Glasgow. Hannah stands back home, fights with Simon, cracks the mirror that she got, slit his throat by accident, and at this time she starts disposing of the body. The next day, Eve wakes up in Glasgow, calls Hannah, and finds out that they have some work to do. This is where Anna has this already rehearsed, as was mentioned by the police officers, apparently. That, you're asking the same thing. Of course I'm going to say the same thing. It was rehearsed, but Eve has it more naturally coming for her. Did we do something on the car? I think we got everything on that, yeah. So now we just have to find out what else... what they did to the body. I believe that's what's left. So we are pretty close to the end here. Just going through all of this because we're doing a lot of research, and there's been a lot of things that we couldn't see. Wedding. Here we go. And you're right, I have to double check them, because I was checking every search term that was be more than 15, but it's more than 5 actually. But let's check this out.
No, he wasn't wearing his wedding ring.
Right. Oh, right. He was being being infidelious, or whatever it's called, cheating on her. But she took on the persona of Eve, and so he wasn't really cheating in the end. Let's see. Eve. How many Eves have we watched? Wait, it said it was 7. 7. Eve 7. Why is? Oh, I added Eve into the tags. Right. Hannah 18. Is there anything I haven't seen here? Nope, I've seen it all. Every code, adding mirror. Yeah, we've gone through it all now. Blonde. There's more here, but I've seen it all. Birthday. I've seen it all. wedding. I guess I've seen that all. Yeah. So I'm guessing now that we know why and how, I'm just gonna figure out what she's done with the body. Oh, one in the middle I haven't watched. But that's clumsy of me. 15 seconds, okay.
I wouldn't say that. It could be passionate.
Eve.
It's just, it was more than that. It wasn't just sex like I had been with the other boys.
Okay. So when she slept with Simon, it was more. It was passion again. So on Simon's part, it was most likely just a role-playing session. Here we go. On Fairy Tale. Fairy. Eve again.
I wanted to see my reflection.
You wanted to see Hannah?
I thought that if I touched her, something would happen. We would become one. One girl. The fairy tale was over, the witch was dead, and I'd be restored to my rightful place.
Is Hannah the witch? Nothing new there. School, but I did check that one, I believe, yeah. Till baby. 3 videos. So Eve, and Eve, yeah. So this is Eve talking about her baby.
Back 8 years back. It was a present to myself.
Ah, that's 2.
I shouldn't even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up. I think they say you can have 1 cup.
So she got that's 2 8 years ago. 94. That means 86.
What did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
That's interesting. So this comes back to, once again, when Hannah disappeared. So I'm making a notation here. Hannah, arrow, Eve. So it's This is the second last... No. Third last interview. She was being interviewed 1st, 2nd and 3rd of July.
Then she told me she wanted to help more.
Help
she said
more?
I should move in with her. She would come clean with Simon about me. I was family. I couldn't have a baby in a bedsit. I told her I didn't want to tell Simon. Told her to wait for the time being.
Wait. So Hannah knew that Eve was pregnant?
Then she told me she wanted to help more. She said I should move in with her. She would come clean with Simon about me. I was family. I couldn't have a baby in a bedsit. I told her I didn't want to tell Simon. Told her to wait for the time being.
Hannah knew that Eve was pregnant. That's interesting. But yeah, pregnant. Oh! Well, these were hidden before because I've searched on pregnant before.
I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married.
Okay.
Yes, I'm fine. Oh, I was sick again. This happens some days.
This is Hana. No, that's Eve.
This morning sickness.
27. So yeah, and when she's wearing... When she's wearing the orange blazer, she is covering up the tattoo. But she wasn't wearing a tattoo here, which means she got the tattoo in the last 2 days. 2 days after the day after, on the 26th. But it would still be healing then, so it must be a fake tattoo. But this is the one I just saw, right? No? It's coming here. Sick pregnant child.
I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. When I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And excuse me. Is there a bin?
Yeah. I did clock that very early on.
Yes. I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories.
Yeah. Well, we saw this. And here is Eve with a tattoo. Oh, yeah, let's remove music.
Yeah. We were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said.
Shotgun wedding.
Simon looked very handsome in the photo. The dress was beautiful.
Okay, so we know why, but I got a new clue that Hana seemed to have known that Eve was pregnant. So let's go with tapping on the 3rd. Okay, so she disappeared on the very last day.
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping the code that we'd learned from a book, the knock code. Something prisoners of war would use. We'd tap them out on radiator pipes or the attic floor.
Yeah, well, it says by Hannah. Okay, so let's check some actual typical things. Yeah, here we go. 2 things we haven't seen. On the 27th.
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body.
Did you switch there at the end? 2054, 2052. Why? It's just 2 seconds apart. How the hell is that possible?
The bruise.
Oh no, it's our
I have
minutes.
a really fast
Okay,
metabolism,
yeah,
so
stupid.
stuff like that just comes and goes. His body. Didn't reveal.
He was talking about his body again. Oh, for the first time. His throat was slit.
It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses.
Yeah, you keep on talking about his glasses.
Doesn't always work.
Interesting.
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Simon's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said.
Mm-hmm.
She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff.
Anna's first child.
That lived there. That the baby.
Sarah about me.
There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed, and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place.
Maybe I can search bag.
I went cold all over.
Because we know he was stuffed in
Went down
different
there
bags.
with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags.
Yeah, here we go.
Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed, and that's when I called the police.
We searched on Sarah, I believe. Yeah, nothing new there. Bag. One new. Now let's see, this is... Oops, here we go.
The whole thing was wrong.
The whole thing was wrong.
The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You can probably check that.
Okay, I should wash that, but let's see.
It was after dinner.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
see the
That's
sun's
it's.
No. The whole thing was wrong. The bags,
So, but you didn't just leave him in the cellar, in bags. That's what I'm trying to find out. What did you do with the body? Burn it, bury it, throw it in the ocean. Oh, where they tried to drown Eve.
The
Buried.
bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape.
Can you imagine that I searched for parcel tape before I searched for bags? I'm an idiot sometimes.
When will the police let me back in the house? And they let me take a bag of clothes with me, but... Okay. I parked up in the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked.
Let's see, glasses. One new entry.
No. I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
Oh, fuck you. That's it. Nothing. What else can we search for? I want there to be some kind of conclusive ending to this. Oh. Okay, I've already seen all that. Nothing. Kidnapped? No kid. One kid I haven't seen. 4 things long.
Well,
Jesus.
there you go. How many kids? Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes.
Right. Did you kill Eve when you drowned her? And then only became Eve later on, somehow? I'm so confused. Feels like I have everything I need, but I don't have everything. So upsetting. Yeah, we have something on wig. A lot on wig. God damn. Because Eve used a wig when she performs.
A wig? You mean... But what type of wig? No, I've never worn a wig. What kind of wig?
Interesting.
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap? No. The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents.
Right.
There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard.
The last day.
I suddenly didn't exist.
I don't think I'm getting much further, honestly. That's what pains me.
This was 9, about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me.
Oh.
She was furious and so angry. The kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought.
Fight?
I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing and she tore it off. Eventually we grew tired of fighting and I left.
Nothing really new there, but you punch her and we already found a piece of evidence saying that she heals quickly. But if they have replaced each other somehow...
She was sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day.
What do you mean she'd been there the whole day?
She had blood on her.
Oh! Blood, of course.
And she was in shock.
Okay. Here we go, here we go.
Okay.
She's trying to leave.
I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records?
Oh.
Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
So she said that she had given blood, but is this a drug-induced split personality?
Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people have been there through my things.
Right.
It's like I've been burgled. Only worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't lived in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in. As good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out.
Oh, it's a phone in the video.
And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So...
Okay, they didn't really hide the body. It was still just in bags at home, so why did the police find them?
Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room.
Mm-hmm.
His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood. Yeah, he was dead.
Seagulls. I'm not sure I can find anything else. Yeah, yeah. So in conclusion, well, we actually don't conclusively know whether or not it's the same person or with a split personality disorder, or if it's 2 different people. If it's drug-infused, or if there is some kind of mirror reflection thing going on, because the writer of this game used to work on Silent fucking Hill. There doesn't seem to be anything paranormal. So actually, I think we're done here. I can't find anything else. I don't reach 75%, unfortunately. So let's check the so this is the YouTuber I found previously. It showed the whole thing, Geek Remix. That was 8 years ago. Jeez, I'm slow to this game. We are not watching our full video. Her Story Explained, the story in full. Here we go. By Pocket Gamer. This is 8 years old as well. Yeah, let's see how much I missed. Actually, let's see if there was anything else to watch as well. Jesus, laggy. We had a list of rules and analysis of a story. Right. Information, and do not watch until you have finished the game. I tried.
Her Story
and
is a fascinating game about
the
piecing
author.
together the story of Hannah Smith as she gives interview testimony on 7 different occasions.
Yeah.
As you pull clips from a computerized filing system by searching for words spoken in that video, you'll unravel the truth and understand what happened and why. But the game is open-ended and, in a way, open to interpretation. There's no quiz at the end, no video clip that explains everything, no final cutscene, so you're left to puzzle out exactly what happened on your lonesome.
Yeah.
If the game left you confused, let us explain.
So that is what I was thinking as well. It might be open-ended, but I want a definite answer to it, but I can't get it, and I'm very impatient like that. So that's why I want to watch this.
And as we said at the top, this will spoil the game, so this is your last warning to leave the video before you ruin this brilliant indie
Listen
game
to
for
him.
yourself. Okay,
Very clever
John?
man.
Good. Right. Hannah Smith killed her husband, Simon Smith. That much, I think anyone could have predicted. What you were probably surprised to learn is that you're not just watching Hannah give testimony, but also a woman who looks exactly like her, called Eve. We think that on June 18th, Eve is being interviewed, but pretending to be Hannah. Then on June 25th, it's Hannah, and
Yeah.
on June 27th, Eve is back, again pretending to be Hannah. We think this because we will later learn that Hannah receives a bruise on her face in a fight before any of the interviews take place, but she only has it during the second interview. In the third, it's gone, and Eve touches the wrong side of her face.
I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes
Wow, that is
The wrong
sneaky.
Only has it during the second interview.
I can't even
In the
see
third,
the
it's
bruise.
gone, and Eve touches the wrong side of her face.
Such poor quality in video that I
so
can't even see the
stuff like that
bruise.
just comes and goes.
The woman in the third clip also has morning sickness, and we'll soon
Yeah.
find out that Eve is the one who is pregnant. On the 30th of June, Hannah is back. We know this because she has no tattoo on her arm, like Eve does in the next session on July 1st. It's hard to tell who is there for the short interview that takes place on July 2nd, but on July 3rd, it's definitely Eve. She fails a lie detector test about her name.
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. My name? That was the only question I failed.
Oh, I missed that. I haven't seen that.
The lie detector works.
And then fesses up. This interview with Eve in the white shirt is the source of most of the truth about her story. Though I guess the caveat is that we don't get Hannah's side of the story on any of this, so we just have to trust what Eve is saying. With that being said, let's go through everything from the girl's birth to this testimony in a whirlwind tour of Hannah and Eve's life. This is her story.
So I remember the lie detector, but I did not catch. No, because I didn't see that video. I'd never searched for lie detector or lie or anything like that again. So I never saw her that she failed it.
First of all, the girls are indeed twins.
When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time. The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead.
But a midwife called Florence split them up, took Eve in and raised her as her own daughter. Eventually, Hannah and Eve meet.
We must have seen each other before, but there was this instant when we first realised it wasn't a reflection. The reflection was staring back.
But when Florence dies, Eve goes to Hannah's house and lives in Hannah's attic. Throughout their childhood and teenage years, the two girls would swap places. They embrace each other's unique strengths and keep a diary to stay on the same page.
So that's how they did it. Okay, I thought they were, that Eve was known. I did miss that, apparently. So she was homeless, essentially, orphaned for the second time in her life, and therefore lived in the attic. Okay.
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to put on Hannah's to match.
They also shared boys, but when Hannah meets Simon, she decides she won't share this man with her twin sister.
Hannah insisted I not pretend to be her around Simon, let alone sleep with him.
Yeah.
We didn't share him like the others. The rules had changed.
And things get especially complicated when Hannah gets pregnant and moves out of her family house and into Simon's. Eve tries, but she can't get pregnant to match, and she's stuck in the attic of Hannah's parents' house.
Oh, that's why she was so hell-bent on trying to get pregnant, because the rules were that they had to match. Gotcha.
Then Hannah loses the baby, and doctors say this made her infertile.
I was infertile.
Mm-hmm.
Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications.
That same year,
Now they
in
were on the
1984,
right track
Hannah's
again.
parents die, and Simon and Hannah move into the parents' home. But Eve moves out.
Got a small bed sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion.
Oh, bedsit, that's what that is. Okay.
I was singing in a bar in the evenings.
Then one day, she meets Simon at a show.
He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was.
Yeah.
But He didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness.
They sleep together and Eve gets pregnant, but she doesn't tell Simon or Hannah.
By his magical sperm. Sorry.
I had always thought we were infertile. Both of us. I didn't tell him.
On the twins' birthday, the day of the murder, Eve tells Hannah about her baby.
I told her because I thought she would be happy for us both.
But she lies about the father.
I told her it was one of my boyfriends. Someone I had met in the bar.
When Simon comes home that day, he
Did not
gives
see
Hannah a
that.
unique mirror as a birthday present.
He made it himself. It was a special one-off. He made it and decorated it. That's his thing.
Hannah then finally tells Simon about Eve and Eve's pregnancy and says she wants to help her twin sister.
Afterwards, she told Simon about me. Told him I was pregnant. She wanted me to move in with them, this sister he didn't know she had.
But
Yeah.
She knew that instant. The look on his face.
Yeah, we saw this.
so she kicks him out. Hannah calls up Eve and they fight.
We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing and she tore it off. Eventually, we grew tired of fighting and I left.
Eve goes to Glasgow in her car.
I was driving badly and I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. He made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at.
Which makes her say,
That should eliminate me as a suspect. If I was in Glasgow, can't be in two places at once.
more on that in a
Oh.
moment. Back home, we get this.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. He said he wanted to be with me.
Right. I remember this.
Present.
Yeah, so Hannah put on the wig and the clothes, pretending to be Eve, and Eve, copy Eve, also gets a mirror identical, and that is when shit goes down.
Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present.
Hannah just
She
wanted a
crazy,
passionate
smashed the mirror.
night.
They argued,
Something like
screamed.
that.
He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open.
Yikes. So Eve returns home and finds Simon dead.
I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room.
And Hannah is there, covered in blood. The two hide the body, and then the watch.
The watch. That was my touch.
They set the time to when Eve is in Glasgow to make the alibi stick.
Oh.
Eve, pretending to be Hannah, then goes to the police, saying Simon
See,
is missing.
details
She
like
returns
that.
a few days later.
Details like that I would never catch. There's been a few details that I know for a damn certain that I would not be catching. Like the lie detector. The fact that I missed one of the codes. We will be getting to that soon as well. And now that they had set the watch to a time when Eve was gone.
Pretending to be Hannah, then goes to the police,
But they thought it
saying
was Hannah.
Simon is missing. She returns a few days later and says she found the body.
I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back. And that's when I saw the bin bags.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled them open, saw the body.
But things start to get a bit messy when the police find hairs from Eve's wig.
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else?
And then the police, like you do, suspect Hannah of being two people.
Twins? Really?
Finally, Eve confesses all, as you've seen in the clips above. Eve then asks for a lawyer.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now.
Of course. But I am such a lawyer.
You have no murder weapon. You have nothing.
We did see that.
And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that.
We've seen this.
And then we get the final word on Hannah.
My sister is gone. And she's never coming back.
Hannah's
The
run
story,
away.
or at least that's what we hear from Eve. Maybe there's more to it. Perhaps Eve and Hannah aren't different after all, and this is just some...
So it's just 14 seconds left there. Let's check it out.
plea to get out of jail. Or maybe Eve murdered Simon and is blaming Hannah. That much is up to you to decide. Let us know your theories in the comments below. But thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the game.
Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting. I completely missed that. I did not see that last interview part where she straight up says Hannah is gone. And Eve was not responsible for the murder, but so she cannot be charged for that, but she could possibly be charged for obstruction of justice because they faked the whole thing in order to let Hannah escape, because all that mattered now was the sisters. That is interesting. I am still... I feel slightly empty that I didn't get a definitive ending, but I like this. It was a good game. It was a bit trickier than I expected, but I still feel like I got it all. I was also very worried about the fact that it could have been a split personality disorder, and I was trying to justify it by saying you should have a tattoo just a day ago in that case, but no, it was simpler than that. I was on the split personality thing because it's a horror. Sam Bradley or whatever his name was made Silent Hill, and so I expected it to be supernatural. I expected it to be horror in that sense. This was very normal, so my expectations is what ruined put wrenches in the cogwheels for me. I still very much enjoy the game, and I was very lucky. Thank you, Strawberry Shorty, for recommending this game. I got it for less than $2. Now it's back on 10. I'm unfortunate, but it is a great game. I am just curious to see what else these recordings had to say, because if this is all you need to solve the mystery, then a lot of it is just filler to seed out more confusion. And of course it is. If it's a real investigation, you can't delete unnecessary footage because nothing is ever unnecessary. But it is confusing as all hell. I liked it. It was really good. I would like to try some more games like this in the future, but I want something that really says you're done now, or have some kind of progress bar, because otherwise I'm just gonna give up on them when I think I have the story, and in this case I failed the game. I do concede this. I will consider this a failure in a sense. I would say there were two important videos that I missed. So I will say 90% successful. B, I guess that might be. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. It was really a lot of fun, and I liked taking these notes. I will see if I maybe do something like that in the future with other different kind of puzzle games and riddles and shit like that. So thank you for watching. We will see what the next game will be. It's not a lot that can top this right away. I don't want to go back to something small and simple right after this. We will see what I end up doing. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. And remember, just because you're not the main character, it doesn't mean you're not important. Goodbye, everyone.